Alrighty guys, I'm going to show you how to work the Puritan Bennett 840 ventilator. So I'm just going to quickly go through the equipment. This is the humidifier where the water goes into. Basically the water should be, the distilled water should fill up to the black mark there, and the 290 just means 290 mils, that's the volume of this. So basically to set it up, have the technician fill it with the distilled water. To do that you just have to pull this out, and then they can put the distilled water in there. This is tubing that connects to the water bag so that this automatically fills, but we leave this the way it is at this particular point in time. So still fill it with water, but leave this in. Basically what happens is that spike goes into the distilled water bag once we've sort of set up the ventilator. This is the humidifier here. This is the inspiratory side of the machine, this is the expiratory side of the machine, and then this is the touch screen up here. So basically to set up, we'll put the humidifier on first. So basically there's this here, so you just press that down and basically that just slides into there like that. We then put the inspiratory filter on. There's two types of inspiratory filters. There's a green one and then there's this brown colored one. Doesn't matter which one that you use. There's a little arrow right here which is the direction in which the air is going. There's a wider part and the narrow part. The wider part is the part that attaches to the machine. So that just goes straight in there. This is the adult expiratory filter. This is the part where the expiratory tubing fits on. So basically you can see that this is already up in the up position. This just slides in there nicely like that, and then you push that down to lock it in. So it's locked in. There is also, this is for the adult, and usually adult we consider anything greater than 10 kilos. This is the neonatal set, so anything sort of in that sort of 5 kilogram or less, or you potentially could even use for the 10 kilo or less range. This is the actual expiratory filter. So to fit that on, there's this part here which will sit down in this little drawer here. So we just pull it out. The curved part goes in like that. We still click it down like we did with the adult filter. And then I'm not going to open up the bag, but basically this part just slits straight up in there. And then the actual expiratory tubing is going to fit onto the front there like that. So because I'm going to show you how to set up the adult set, we'll use the adult expiratory filter. So it just sits in there like that. Clamp it on. Now we're ready for the tubing. There are two basic types of tubing. There is the adult set, which is wider tubing, and then there's the neonatal set, which has narrow tubing. The other difference is that the neonatal set on the expiratory limb has a water trap there as well. So basically you open this up. I already have one that's opened up. The blue is the inspiratory line, the clear or white line is the expiratory line. And then inside there's also another short tube which actually attaches the inspiratory filter to the humidifier. So that's what we're going to do right now. So inspiratory filter attached to the humidifier, and then we attach the inspiratory line to the humidifier, and then the expiratory line to the expiratory filter. On the end, there's going to be a pre-existing little cap which sort of sits on there like that. Before you start the machine up, that cap has to come off, or else the machine will be upset and will alarm at you. Also make sure that all of these little holes, there's one here, and there's one there, that they're covered up. The next thing is inside this Antec bag there's going to be the wiring for the filter, for the humidifier. There's a short line, and then there's the longer line. The short line is basically the heating unit. So within here are sort of coiled around as little heating elements, and basically what this does is that you just hook it in. You can see that there's a 3-prong right there. There's a 3-prong right there. So basically that just hooks in there like that. And we put that back on humidifier. And then here there's little black arrows. They just go into the top hole on the side of the humidifier there. This is the actual sensor, so it detects how much, the actual temperature inside the tubing. So the gold part goes into the lower hole on the humidifier. And then the first little sensor goes right in here. You just twist it in. And then the second sensor, which is right at the end of the line, goes into this little hole right here. Not into the white hole, into the one where the blue cap is. So now we're pretty much ready to go to turn on the machine itself. So we just turn on the on button right now. Just make sure that the oxygen is connected and that you have the machine connected to the power outlet. So we turn it on. And again, remember that we have the cap off. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a short self-test, which basically calibrates the machine to this particular tubing. It doesn't have to occur if you know that the patient on the ventilator prior to this was on the same size tubing. But just for the purpose of this demonstration, we'll do the short self-test. So basically, the only other button that you're going to have to find is the test button, which is right here on the side. So when you choose the short self-test, you just have to press this test button within 5 seconds, and then it'll get to this screen. And basically, we're going to choose, so you can press that button and then choose either neonatal or adult. And we're going to choose adult. You don't have to worry about these right here. This is basically just saying that it's heated expiratory tubing, and that we have a humidifier which has a 290 mil volume. So now we're ready to go, so we press accept. So we get to this screen, and it says connect the circuit with the inspiratory filter but without the humidifier. So basically what that means is that we leave the inspiratory filter in, and then we are just connecting the inspiratory line to the filter. And we're bypassing the humidifier for now. And then we say accept. It asks you to block the Y. So this is the Y piece here. So we just block the Y and press accept. While this is happening, you could be setting up the area for the patient. Make sure there's plenty of padding because we don't want any pressure sores. Misa has made up a ventilator kit where there's suction tubing in there. There's the Yankow suction catheters. There's a laryngoscope. And we should also have a multiple number of sterile endotracheal tubes as well, sort of ranging in size from 3 all the way up to 10. Again, if you have any problems with the machine, there is the tech support that is 24 hours. The main tech support is available Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. On the weekends or outside of those hours, basically, you can still get tech support. It's just that they will call the tech at home. So now we connect the humidifier back up. And we press accept. Going to do a leak test right now. Now we disconnect, and it says disconnect at from patient port. Basically all that means is that we take the expiratory line off, press accept. Connect to the from patient port, so connect it back up. Testing the circuit resistance now. Unblock the Y, press accept. There's block the Y, press accept. Is the water humidifier? Normally you would say yes, but in this circumstance there's none. So we press clear. Let's press accept if there was water in the humidifier. It's just doing a compliance calibration right now. Says unblock the Y, press accept, and now it's ready to go. If you failed something and you wanted to go back and retest it, you would say restart SST, but because we passed everything, we're going to press exit, press accept. And the machine, what it's going to do now is it's going to shut itself down. It's going to save those settings so that it knows what the compliance is, what the resistance is in the tubing, and now we can. So now we just choose new patient. We dial in the weight right here, so we can change the weight to whatever it is in kilograms. We can choose the mode, whether it's assist control, SIMV, spontaneous. So we'll choose SIMV for now. We can use volume control right here versus pressure control, so PC versus VC. And usually we don't have to worry about this part here, and then we press continue. So it sort of comes to this screen right here. If we want to change the number of breaths, we press the F button and change the number of breaths. Because we chose volume control, we can choose the total volume for pressing VT. We want to have the FiO2 at 100% to begin with. The PEEP will vary according to whether there is lung disease or no lung disease, but it can range up to 20 centimeters of water. And then everything else is pretty much the same. So once you're ready to go, you then press accept. And then we sort of come to the screen. So what happens now is we're ready to connect it to the patient, and then it'll start breathing for you. And that's pretty much it. All right, thanks guys for listening.